Very good day to you people. My name is Mohit, and guys, today I'm going to show you how to randomly generate a different color every time I test the movie. Not only that, guys, this tutorial also talks about how to create your own custom snippets, code snippets that is. Guys, I'm sure most of you are aware what code snippets in Flash do. They actually generate or bring up a ready-made code that's lying in the Flash interface, which was pre-built, which came with the software. Okay, and I'll tell you how to get it. First, all you need to do is you need to click on a window, then you should say code snippets, and guys, you'll have a lot of folders. I have this folder which is the custom folder that I generated, okay, which is filled up with my own custom snippets that I'd created after I had installed Flash Professional CS 5.5, but the inbuilt folders were actions, timeline, animation, so on and so forth. Okay, this custom folder and whatever is inside was actually created by me later on. So I'll talk about how to create custom code snippets. Okay, and guys, let's take an example. Beg your pardon, it's gone code snippets. Okay, if I go into actions, open up this folder, and then maybe click on any of these available snippets, something like show an object or generate a random number. If I double click on this specific code snippet, guys, the codes the code would be then thrown inside the actions window. Okay, like so. So I just double clicked on that snippet, and a whole chunk of code is then generated and thrown in the actions window. Anyways, so we'll look how we can first generate a random color one, and then we'll see how to then make our own custom snippet, so that the next time I need to use that code, I need not write it again and again, so I can just pull it up from my custom snippet panel. Right. Okay, now guys, let's come back and talk a little about generating a random color. Before I actually take you inside my actions panel and explain the action script to you, let me first show you a published preview. Let me hit Control Enter on the keyboard, guys, to test the movie. Okay, so the first time I test the movie, guys, it's a greenish color. Okay, I say Control Enter once again. This time it's a different color and a different color. So every time I test the movie, guys, by hitting Control Enter on my keyboard, you can see that it generates a different color every time. So now what we'll do is we'll go inside the actions panel, the action script, and understand how this was done. Let me first also explain what has happened on the stage. Now guys, the stage is 600 by 400 in size. I've used a font called I think should be pronounced Ravi. Okay, also guys, if you notice in the output panel, I keep getting a message which says that the fonts should be embedded. Let me embed the font so this message does not appear again and again. So I'll click on this embed button out here. Okay, and I'll say all. I'll select all character ranges and say all. Now if I test the movie now, I shouldn't get this message output. Alright, cool. Okay, now let's go inside the actions panel and talk about the action script that I had generated, or I had written to create such an effect. Guys, this text field has been given an instance name my text underscore txt. It's always a good idea to say underscore txt right at the end of the text field, underscore mc right at the end of an instance name of a movie clip, or underscore btn for a button. Okay, now this text field is a TLF text field which is read only. Right now the initial color, guys, is maroonish. Okay, reddish maroonish, but as we have seen, every time we test the movie, it actually gets a new color. Right, so let's talk about the action script now. Okay. I've used the color transform class, guys, and in line number 4 you can notice that I've used a variable. Now this variable, which is called color holder, is going to hold the color or save the color. Okay, variables save data or keep data with themselves. So I've called the variable color holder, and the type of the variable is color transform. Okay, the type is color transform. Variables that hold numbers have a type number. Ones that hold strings have a type string. The ones that hold time have a type timer. The ones that hold an array have a type array, and so on and so forth. So since this variable color holder is holding a color value, the type is color transform, and we are creating a new color, so is equal to a new color transform. Right now, guys, once you say that variable color holder of the type color transform is equal to new color transform parent semicolon, it means that we are going to save a new color for our movie clip. Line number 6 shows you the format of using the color property. So I need to pass in a color inside this variable, and the way to do it is color holder dot color. Then you need to write 0x and then the hex code of the color. Okay, so it's just an example. This line number 6 has been grayed out. Basically what I've done is I've applied a line comment, so this will actually not work. Line number 6 has been rendered a comment. It's just a comment, guys, it will not work, but the comment has been left for you just to show you how we actually use the color property and apply it to the variable, so that this variable color holder will be now holding this specific color. Okay, so 0x is always prefixed before the hex code, guys. This is the hex code, or 6-digit code. Now this 6-digit code, guys, can hold alphabets as well as numbers. I've just put our numbers out here, but it could be alphabets too. It could be something like 0x CC CC CC. That was absolutely fine. Right now, guys, the color generator that I've used uses only numbers. It was pretty difficult for me to generate alphabets. I'm not saying impossible, but it would have made the tutorial very complex. I didn't actually need that. Okay, so what I've done is I have, through line number 8, generated an integer between 111111 to 999999. Okay, so usually we see that hex codes are a combination of alphabets and numbers, but if you use only numbers, guys, the colors will be a little darker. If you use only alphabets, the colors will be a little lighter. Let me explain the color theory to you. Okay, now what happens, guys, let's consider this hex code, which is 886688. Now the first two numbers, which could have been alphabets too, are for the red channel, the next two for the green channel, and the last two for the blue channel. So the red, green and blue values come together and they form a color, the RGB color model, guys. Okay, so through the math.random math method, we will get a random number between 0 and 1. If I multiply that with 888888, I'll get a random number between 0 and 888888. If I add 111111 to it, it will output an integer, because I've used an int out here just before the random number. It'll make sure that the fractions are taken away and we get only an integer. So this variable, our color or random color, will be saving an integer which will have a value between this number and this number. Right. Guys, the color spectrum starts from 0 goes up to 9, then alphabet A, and then goes up to alphabet F. The closer you get to the number 0, the lighter the color, and the closer you get to the alphabet F, the darker the color. Rather, the closer you get to 0, the darker the color, and the closer you get to F, the lighter the color. Let me show you something interesting out here. Now let me click on the stage color. Okay guys, notice that the color black is made up of red channel 00, green channel 00, and blue channel 00. Okay, so since it's closest to 0, so the color spectrum is between 0 to 9, and then from alphabet A to alphabet F. So the closer you are to 0, the darker the color, the closer you are to F, the lighter the color. So black is a $000000, and the color white is FFFFFF. And I was just telling you, the closer you get to the alphabet F, the lighter the color. Let's consider these shades too. Okay, now this darkish grayish color, which is a $3333333, is close to the color black, but not quite. And if I move down, that's 666666. So it's getting lighter. The closer I'm moving to a 999999, it's getting lighter. And this next shade, which is a 999999, gets even lighter. And now we move on from numbers to alphabets. And I just told you guys that when you work with alphabets, the colors get lighter. And then we come to this color, which is FFFFFF, is the lightest of all the colors. Beg your pardon, guys. Okay, so now that you've understood the color theory, you understood the RGB model, you understood that the first two characters are for the red channel, the next two for the green channel, and the next two for the blue channel, which mix together form a color. So the the hex codes could be a combination of colors and numbers and alphabets, or they could just be numbers. But when you use only numbers, the chances are that they'll be closer to 0, and hence they'll be a little darker compared to hex codes, which will be formed only by alphabets. They'll be a little lighter because they're closer to F in the color spectrum, and the color spectrum is between 0 to 9, and then from alphabet A to F. Right, F for Foxtrot. Okay, now let's see, guys. Now that I've saved the color value in this variable called rcolor, which will then accept a value between this and 999999. Okay, and then, guys, what I've done is I have created yet another variable, and I've called that variable color code. Okay, now this variable, guys, notice, is a combination of rcolor. Now rcolor is the number that was generated, and as we had talked about a little earlier, guys, 0x is always prefixed before the the hex code. So what I've done here is I've added a 0x inside the string, and then I've added it to the rcolor. So the new color that will be saved inside the color code will look something like 0x and then 1 2 3 4 5 6 6 5 4 3 2 1, or whatever, or 0x 8 8 8 8 8 8, or whatever. Okay, so the color code will look something like this, guys. Right, and that's how you pass in the colors using the color property. So what I've done here is, in line number 14, I'm telling Flash that the color holder through the color property should hold the color code, whatever the color code, because since it's a randomly generated number, I wouldn't know what the color code is. Every time it'll be different. And guys, notice in line number 15 I have traced the color code. See out here, the color code gets traced or output every time. Alright, and then guys, what I've done is I have used the transform property, applied it to my text.txt, which is nothing but this TLF text, read only TLF text, which has an instance name my text underscore txt. I've applied the transform property and the color transform sub property, C lowercase t uppercase, camel casing. Okay, and then I made it equal to color holder. Now guys, color holder through the color property is holding the color code, and this is color code guys. 0x as the prefix, and then the random number or the random integer between 111111 and 999999, and the color code is then going to look something like this. Alright, and since the color code would be different every time guys, the color of the text field would be different each and every time. So let me test once again. Okay, so a different color, let me test it again. Yet another color. Okay, once again another color, and again another color. Alright, guys, let me tell you that if you want very dark colors, there's a trick that you can play. I can change this 888888 to something like a 222222, and then you know, the closer you get to 0, the darker the color. The closer you get to a 999999, the lighter the color. Okay, so you can make these adjustments guys if you wish. Right. Alright, now the next part guys, the next part I said we write codes, and then we don't want to write them again and again. Maybe we want to use this chunk of code over and over again, so it's best to create a custom snippet. Okay, but guys, maybe I'll apply that you know, the transform property, the color transform sub property, not to a text field, but it could be a movie clip, it could be a button, or could be anything else. So when I'm saving this as a custom snippet, it's best not to put my text underscore txt, because in context that would change every time. So this should be replaced by my instance here, rather instance name here, beg your pardon, instance name here, which means whatever the instance name. Okay, so that's like a master key. So replace the actual text field instance name or the movie clip instance name with instance name here, and then guys, select the whole chunk of code like this. Click on code snippets, go out here, click on options, then say create new code snippet, and in the title let me say color transform class, and in the description will generate a new color every time. Alright, now this description will appear as a tooltip whenever you hover over the custom code snippet guys, and then all you need to do is you need to click on the autofill button where it says used code selected in actions panel. That was the reason I told you to select the code in the actions panel. So click on the autofill button, and guys, all the code is then brought over out here, okay, along with the comments, everything. And then you have an option that says automatically replace instance name here when applying code snippet, which means that the instance name, which is instance name here, should get replaced with whatever the instance name of the object. It could be a movie clip or a button or whatever. So I'm gonna say OK out here, and guys, if you notice in my custom folder, a new snippet or a code snippet has been added, which is the color transform class. Okay, if I go out here and say show code, you can see that the code I've just saved is right there. Cool. Now guys, what I'll do is I'll delete this whole chunk of code. I'll also delete the text field. Let me apply the new snippet that I've just created to, let's say, this object. Let me select the object, convert this object to a symbol. Okay, let me call this symbol MC. Alright, and then let me click on this MC, go to window, go to code snippets, and then making sure that the custom folder is open. I'll scroll down and then click on the new snippet that I just created, color transform class. Alright, double click on that, and the code that I just saved is then brought over into the actions panel, guys. And notice that the instance name here has been replaced by MC, which is the instance name of the red square or the red rectangle that I had just created. Alright, and if I test the code by hitting Control Enter on my keyboard, guys, you'll see that every time it generates a new color for our movie clip, which is also output in out here. Right, we had a trace statement, guys, trace color code. Right, so guys, I hope you like this tutorial, you learned something useful from this. I'll see you very soon with yet another Flash and ActionScript 3 tutorial. You have a good day. Peace. Bye bye.